Hi Libra, welcome. So Libra, this is going to be a you versus them. I'm going to go back and forth between you and the person you may be connecting with. Keep in mind it's a general reading. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't, and my readings are timeless. I just trust that when this finds you, that's when it's for you. Wow, interestingly enough, your first card out was Sagittarius. That could be a placement in your chart or the chart of the person you're dealing with, or just the influencing vibes. The reason why it's funny, excuse me, is because I was actually going to do Sagittarius, and I was all set up to do that, and for some reason I felt a nudge to read for you instead, Libra. Which, FYI, Sagittarius, don't worry, you'll still get your reading, but Libra, for some reason, I felt the urge to do yours first, and so I think that's funny that that card came out as the first card out. So this card talks about being more enthusiastic, philosophical, your independent nature, Libra. It's about kind of seeking new experiences, travel, very boundless, very lucky energy here. So it's a great card to start out with. Let's see what your crowning energy is. The Nine of Swords. So, and they have the Ten of Wands. So there seems to be a little bit of a struggle though going on in the connection, or maybe just emotionally right now. It's interesting because the other reason I chose to do you instead of Sagittarius next was because I did the Cancer reading and there was a lot of Libra energy in it. So you may find that you resonate with the Cancer reading as well, especially if you have it in your birth chart. Check it out. But this is, again, yeah, talking about stress and burdens, which is really interesting because you have this very Voyager, independent type of energy around you, which it could be that, you know, if you have been under a lot of stress, Libra, that you're like, yeah, I'm ready for a vacation, or I'm ready to get out of here. They're giving me the song by Shania Twain. I'm out of here. I want you for the weekend. I don't know the name of the song. If you know it, put it in the chat below. But she says, I'll get you good, is what she says. I'm gonna get you in a matter of time. I'm gonna get you so nice. Like I should, I'll get you good. Oh, goodness gracious. A little Shania for you. All right, so Four of Pentacles, Six of Swords, Three of Swords, Seven of Wands. I feel like, Libra, some of you have been holding on to some things from the past that have hurt you. Even though you've attempted to move away from it, it just feels like it always revisits you, you know, or the past revisits you. Well, we are in a retrograde right now, so literally it might happen with the past revisiting you, but you get what I mean. And it just makes you feel guarded. It just makes you feel like, okay, what's next? Because I've been here before, I've seen this before, and now I've developed some sort of coping mechanism that tells me to look out for the next bad thing. And although it seems logical, you know, to our ego brain to expect the worst, it actually vibrationally is completely out of alignment. Like, there's a difference between growing and learning from your past versus using that as your reason to expect the worst moving forward. And sorry, I got interrupted because I was getting words like leverage. Some of you using it as leverage. You know, like if you've ever been wronged by like a friend or a family member or this person, using that as leverage, you know, like this is why, gosh, let me get this out. It's a sense of like, yeah, I moved on from that or I forgave you, but should you ever cross me again or do this again, I will use what you've done in the past as reason to punish you in the now. Yes. And most people do that because most people don't truly ever forgive. Forgiveness is is when you genuinely let it go, meaning you also let the negative expectation and the way that you perceive the person go. But most of us we're just not geared that way. A lot of us aren't, where it's more like, all right, yes, I can forgive a mistake, but I will never forget. And that's kind of what I feel it is. It's like forgive, but never forget, like that type of vibe. So Queen of Pentacles, Seven of Swords, King of Swords, the Justice card, and the Queen of Wands. I feel like this person they've thought about like how to make something right here, or right or wrong. And yet they feel you're closed off, Libra. Or at least you have been in the past. Like, I feel like this person is in this space of almost being like excited to bring more balance into their lives. But it's after a period of time where they were really fixated to the point that they created like a heavy energy around them about a mistake. And I heard, but was it a mistake? All right, so let's go deeper. And this is so similar to the Cancer reading, which was super specific. Don't make this resonate if it doesn't. You'd already know. It'd already be clicking into place if this is your reading, all right? So this is going to get super specific. Ace of Swords, Eight of Pentacles, the Tower. That song is so loud. I'm gonna get you, it's a matter of time. It's just a matter of time. All right, so Ace of Swords, Eight of Pentacles, the Tower, and the Knight of Wands. So I feel like, first of all, Libra, if you're having like really good ideas about like projects or things that you want to do that are going to help build you up, I feel like this is a good opportunity or a good time period to make those necessary changes or movements. I know this is a relationship reading, but I just have to say that because I see that. Now, as it pertains to this person, I feel like there's some sort of truth, or I heard dawning, something dawning on you that kind of makes you look a little bit closer, and then ultimately leads to the Tower, which is kind of like a disruptive change. And then it's followed by kind of like this in and out energy here. It's like you get an idea or you get an inkling of something. And I feel like this is while you're working or like while you're busy doing something else. And then it creates like a disruptive change, or be careful about like impulsive action. But I feel like this is like an intuitive nudge, like an inspired nudge. Let's go to this person. And it could also be too that you're working hard to make some changes in your own life or with your own self that are requiring some movement or some action on your part as well. Knight of Swords, Queen of Swords, the Ten of Wands. They got the Ten of Wands out twice. And the Empress. Oh, okay, I guess that one wanted to come out too. The Two of Pentacles. So this person's thinking a lot about their direction, where they're headed. Is it worth the struggle? They're struggling with their own mind at times. At the same time, I feel like it's placing some sort of burden on their physical apparatus that may make it difficult for them to stay focused, okay? Because it's like getting heavier here. And it's like the more that this person tries to think about something or figure out something, the heavier it gets. Okay, so I feel like, and yet there's no hurry to like communicate, or there's no hurry right now. I don't feel like a hurried energy, but yet their mind races. So it's like they're not in a hurry to do something about it or to make a change right now, but they think about it a lot. They almost overthink it, you know, like when we get an impulse to make some sort of change, the path of least resistance is to honor the impulse and move towards that new version of you or that change that you want. But how many of us hold ourselves away from doing that? Almost all of us. You know, like I feel like most human beings have to feel that nudge for change over and over and over and over and over again before it either gets so uncomfortable they have to change, or till they finally get the point, you know, that, oh, okay, yeah, this is going to keep happening until this changes, you know. And I kind of feel like that's what's occurring in this person's energy. So let's go deeper into the emotional space. What? All right. 5 of Pentacles. There's something, it's like, it's not going as planned. Okay? Something is not going as planned. But yet, in the eyes of higher self, it is in perfect order. In the heart space here, Libra, I feel like you've had to work up a lot of courage to kind of leave some of this fear-based energy in the past, you know, to truly embrace where you're currently at and start giving to yourself again. Start putting that time and energy into yourself again. I feel like, you know, there's something that you went through in the past that created kind of this guarded stance. But I feel you've worked on that. I feel like you're ready for change. I feel like some of you are going through like true developmental, like spiritual changes or changes within yourself. And it's helping you to come out of a dark space, you know, or a space where it felt like, you know, things were difficult or the walls were caving in for some of you. And now it's like, all right, you're successfully overcoming that phase. Leave it in the past, though. Don't keep regurgitating it. Don't expect it, by the way, to reoccur. It is through that practice expectation of negative things that you manifest negative things. So practice differently. Now they're saying practice positive expectations, things going your way, and watch as it begins to develop. Now, some of you are also in a space of like, okay, yes, because I'm feeling confident, I'm ready to go into this space of being more open, being more understanding. We first have to understand ourselves before we understand others. So let's see what's going on in this person's emotional space. I wish I knew all the words to that song. I bet it will come to me if I think about it. She says, I'm gonna get you, it's a matter of time. It's only a matter of time. I'm gonna get you, thanks all night. Can bet you $5 you're gonna be mine. Like I should, I get you good. What the hell is that song about? Sorry. Anyways, oh, come on. 10 of Cups. I'm not going to take all of these. Messy, messy, messy. All right, so this person is moving away from the past energy. They're wanting to be more playful and more of their inner child. Like, I think this person is seeking for comfort, belonging, familiarity. And yet, the Two of Swords is trumping that. So there is that stinking negative thinking, right? This propensity to overthink that disturbs their peace. When really, but at the same time, this disturbance, right, is opening them up to something new. It's like they haven't, this person hasn't quite got it all figured out just yet, but they're on their way, you know, not to figuring it all out, because we never figure it all out. And the reason we never figure it all out is because it's never done. It's never done because you're eternal, right? The story just keeps going. The bodies change, the time and space changes, but you're forever, you know, so, but I get a feeling of like, you know what it is? They don't want to repeat their past mistake. But they're hyper fixating on it so much that it almost creates a higher probability that they will recreate the mistake, because you get what you focus on, whether you want it or don't want it. So even if you focus on something and say, I do not want that, all the universe hears is yes. Even the don't wants. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't hear I don't want to. It just says, what are you focused on? Here you go. You get more of it. So how do you go about learning what you needed to learn without repeating it? Well, that's what I was saying earlier. It's like taking the growth, taking the expansion, but truly going into a space of forgiveness. And it ain't about forgiving someone else. It's about forgiving yourself for knowing that you're different now. So you won't make the same mistake because you know better, you know? They say ignorance is bliss, but once you know better, you got to do better. And the reason they say that is because once you know better, if you don't do better, you're going to repeat it because your awareness is there. Anyways, let's go into the most likely future outcome. You have the King of Wands. Sorry, I have somebody calling me. King of Wands, the Knight of Cups. What is the most likely future outcome? Knight of Swords. Ten of Wands. So, Libra, holy knights. So a lot of action-oriented energy here. I feel like, yeah, you're getting into this space where it's just like, I'm comfortable with who I am. I'm making changes. I'm feeling more confident, more willing to speak up, say how I'm feeling, even if it's difficult. But in facing my fears, in not shying away from the contrast or the difficulty, I will have accomplished a spiritual goal of mine, which is growth, expansion, pushing yourself beyond who you currently are. So there is a sense of like things coming full circle here, and the encouragement is to not shy away from difficult conversations either. You know, to sometimes we avoid things because we feel it may be misunderstood or difficult. And, you know, I'm not going to say that that's not the right thing to do at times, but sometimes the calling is to face those challenges and to push ourselves beyond our comfort zones. Because although comfort zones are comfortable, there's really no growth there. And you can only stay comfortable for so long before it turns into stagnation, which leads to boredom and then depression. Because you're meant to keep moving, right? So it's like, almost like getting in this space of like, no matter how uncomfortable or difficult this may be, I am going to do it. And there's some sort of reward in this. So let's see this person's most likely future outcome. The King of Pentacles. The Four of Wands. Temperance, the Six of Wands, and the Queen of Cups. So, I almost called you Capricorn. Sorry. Libra. Yes. So, this person, you know what? They're in the space, too, of wanting to do better. They really are. That I feel like they have learned. You know, and as long as they don't hyperfixate on the mistake, and as long as you don't use it as leverage, then both of you have accomplished something here. So I feel like this person's now in a space of, well, wanting to feel comfortable in their own skin, but also to call in success to them, to call in union, to call in, you know, the things that are meaningful to them. I feel like this person has come to peace with something. It could be that they have forgiven self, but it's ultimately leading to a doorway opening for them and the ability to take the expansion. And there's like some sort of new adventure on the other side of this. So both of you are being encouraged to take the expansion. So let's see what the guidance is. I'm gonna get you, it's a matter of time. I'll look up the name of that song. Let's see what the guidance cards have to say. They have Hello from Heaven and Soul Solitude. And you have Animal Kingdom. So this person has Hello from Heaven. Your loved one in spirit want to connect with you. They want to know you've been thinking of you and been sending you symbols and signs. And they also have the card of Soul Solitude, which is an encouragement to get away, not just from the noise of the outside world, but to a place where you can find peace and quiet. A time to pause and reflect before making any changes. You have the card of Animal Kingdom, which FYI, anytime I get this card, don't be surprised if like you see random animals or a snake, a butterfly, a bird, or I don't know, something of that nature. Animals are signs to me personally, but they can also be signs for you. But this is also encouraging you to reconnect with nature and your spiritual self, as well as the animals of the planet. So, wow, Libra, very interesting reading. I'm going to leave it there for now. Zodiac signs you could be connecting with or having your own chart. I've got Sagittarius here, Pisces. I felt a Cancer reference, Cancer and Sagittarius predominantly. But I also have Aries, Libra, Taurus, Leo, Scorpio. And those are the predominant signs I'm seeing, but keep in mind it is a general reading, so take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If it did resonate, please do let me know in the comments below. Also, don't forget to give me a like, share, and subscribe if you haven't yet. You can find me on Facebook and Instagram for more fun stuff. I do have videos and content over there as well. Tarot Time with Dana is the name of all my social media accounts, but it is also linked in the chat, as well as the description, as well as the About section. And hey, by the way, I noticed this. YouTube is not notifying all of my subscribers anymore. So if you have a chance and you click on your subscriptions, if you go there and click under notifications, it'll have personalized and all. For some reason, it automatically set people to personalized, so nobody's getting alerted when I'm live, or very few of you are. So if you change that to all, it should set it right. That's just a FYI. I had to throw that in there. But anyways, I'm hoping everything goes well for you. Either way, Libra. And until next time, my friends, namaste.